The images in this video were presented on the occasion of the 6th European Meeting of People Experiencing Poverty. They were conceived and created to symbolize the reality of poverty in the EU, but at the same time, they embody the hope for a world where all can live in dignity. How we perceive poverty has a dramatic impact on how we react to it. Three billion people in the world face poverty. 78 million of them live in the EU. It is time to rethink how we share the wealth in the world. The fight against poverty is a fight for a decent society for all. It means recognizing the dignity of each individual. It calls for deep political commitment and engagement. It means showing solidarity, speaking out loudly together with those concerned. It means seeing the fight against poverty as a concern for the whole of society, going beyond perceived limits and finding different and original ideas. Everywhere in Europe, citizens can show solidarity by fighting for housing rights, by going beyond stereotypical views of homeless people. Housing is a right, not a luxury. To establish and implement this right is fundamental if we are to create decent societies. The direct experience of poverty can have many faces. You have no access to essential services. You are overwhelmed by debt. You suffer discrimination. Fighting poverty should grant access to balanced nutrition for all. It should stop exclusion, lead to the sharing of wealth, prevent insecurity, and create confidence for building the future. In an increasingly precarious society, the risk of poverty is not just a risk for the few. Strong social protection systems are a must for all, and that includes the protection of all of our children. The debate on migration is too often on the basis of fear rather than informed discussion. Addressing migration from an ethical and human rights point of view is one of the great challenges of building a dignified society. What's the meaning of this plastic cigarette and this bottomless mug? An increasingly wealthy world with growing levels of inequality and poverty is as bizarre as the juxtaposition of these two objects. We must break down the barriers that prevent people from fully taking part in society, benefiting from society, and contributing something to society. If we are to prevent the world and our democratic institutions from losing dignity, we must be seen to be building a decent society that is free of poverty for all.